You know, many of us picked up a few new hobbies during the height of the pandemic. Sourdough bread making, gardening, maybe exercising. But what about producing an entire concert from home? Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. Here to keep us in the loop with all things creative happening in the Queen City is our friend Tim Miner from Charlotte is Creative. Tim, so good to see you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. And, you know, this is one I've been really excited to bring to you. I'm in Matthews right now at the Fullwood Theater in the Matthews Community Center with my friend Zach Tarleton. You know, one of the interesting reversal stories or the stories that we got during the pandemic was, as you said, people taking up new habits, existing arts organizations and performance groups trying to figure out how do you translate live performance into Zoom or into a streaming platform. That was a challenge. But Zach and his group, QC Concerts, took it the other way around. They use that creative pent-up energy, as you said, to put on productions in quarantine over streaming. And now that the pandemic is into a different stage and we can all get out and enjoy the world, they've got the opposite challenge of what a lot of creative orgs had, which is to take what they did online and then put it on stage with a live audience. And it's been a huge hit. They've had sold out shows, and this weekend they're taking on their biggest challenge yet, which is Titanic the musical. This is a show that doesn't have the staging and doesn't have the costumes, but has all the incredible talent. 45 different people taking part in this production and a 22-piece orchestra right on that stage behind us.
That sounds absolutely incredible. Zach, congratulations to you, because what you began during the heart of the pandemic, you're really taking to a new level now. Tell me a little bit about the production of Titanic the musical. What are you guys doing out there?
Sure. So our production of Titanic, this is one of those musicals that for me has always been a dream show to work on. I didn't think I would ever actually see it come to fruition, and so excited to be here today in the theater. So when we started moving into full performances, one thing I knew I wanted to do was to do a season format that would have one large show every season. So it was really important for me to start with a show that had a sense of story of hope. And hope and tragedy, and to be able to tell that story to an audience. So I picked Titanic as our first big show to do. This is our first time in an actual theater. Most of our other shows have been in a non-traditional space, so it's really great to be here. I grew up doing shows at the Matthews Playhouse that's housed in the Fullwood Theater, so it feels like coming home to be here this weekend.
Wow, so you have a background in this, so this is not the first rodeo for you. You also did this last year. It was a different performance, right?
Yes, correct. So we started with season 1 in January, February, and March, and we did a series of small kind of rock opera style musicals at Free Will, Craft and Vine and Noda. They have been very generous hosts. We load in, do 1-2 night events there, and load out. So it's been a super, super amazing shift from going from small shows to something as large as Titanic.
And Titanic, this production, as Tim pointed out, I mean, it involves an entire orchestra, so many actors, like 45 different actors. They have their scripts on stage. Talk to me a little bit about how you made this choice for this production.
Sure. So my background in theater has primarily been musicals. So I'm a pianist. I started playing the piano when I was 6 years old, playing for shows in Charlotte, music directing shows at local theater companies. And it was always something I wanted to do, was to start a company that only did concert productions. We travel to New York a lot to see theater, and one of my highlights that we get to see is these concerts at Lincoln Center that they do every year. And so I kept telling myself, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. The pandemic hit, we pivoted, did stuff online, and then we were back in New York last year for Thanksgiving, saw one of these concerts, and I said, if I don't do it right now, I'm never going to do it. Came home, started making calls, and then QC Concerts was born.
I just love it so much. Tim, have you been able to witness some of the rehearsals? And if so, what can you tell us?
I have. This is a show that I actually love. Little trivia, Matt Olin, my partner in crime, worked on the original production of this show 25 years ago on Broadway. So we snuck in, we took a look at it. And what I love is, all of the talent, the beautiful music, the incredible passion is all there. It just, doing it without the stage, without the costumes, makes it more affordable. We're trying to figure out how to make creativity happen in Charlotte. All of the talent is front and center, and I promise you, you go to this thing, you will laugh, you will cry, you'll feel a lot of feels at Titanic the musical, that's for sure.
I love it. If folks want to see it, where can they go for more information or for tickets?
Sure, so they can go to our website, qcconcerts.com. There's a link for tickets there. Last time I checked, there's only about, I think, less than 50 tickets available for the whole run. So hurry and grab those last few seats, and we'll see you at the show.
Oh, I love it. Okay, Tim, thank you for introducing us to Zach. And Zach, break a leg.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Our pleasure. Thanks, Cheryl.
Thanks, guys.